Attention! We are approaching the reservoir indicated by Dr. Ranga. Scans confirm the presence of abundant liquid water. Liquid water has never before been found on Mars.
Then it will be another historical discovery. Our expedition has had many.
I have generated an assumption. You wish to know whether these are Megazoa.
Yes, that is true, Art.
Congratulations! I have correctly predicted your behavior.
Yes. So, are these Megazoa?
Yes, they are a species of Megazoa related to Hydronzoa. We will call them Hydronmaxus. This species does not generate liquid water, but transports it using capillary action.
So all of the water flowing out of these plants comes from somewhere else?
Yes, it is drawn up through the stems of the Megazoa from an unknown source below. Alert! I have discovered a camera module dispossessed by Octo.
It is as I suspected. The camera is pointing at fossilized life forms. And what are these markings?
Markings were created by the digging tool of Octo. Octo removed a sample from this exact location.
It appears to have been a large sample. How many objects of this approximate size could he carry?
3.719418468.
Then he must have thought it quite important. If I find a similar sample, perhaps I will learn why.
Attention! The fossilized life forms at this location have a 47.562% likelihood of being similar to a sample removed by Octo.
Some of these fossils appear to be the ancestors of the life forms in this cave. Others appear aquatic in origin.
Yes! Evidence indicates these life forms evolved in an extremely very enormous body of cold saline water.
An ancient living ocean on Mars. I could chat about it with Imani. I'm sure she has her theories. Amani, suppose you are right that parts of the cave are left over from an ancient era in Mars history. What would that tell us?
A lot. If the karst rock is really the equivalent of Earth limestone, then that means...
that it is composed of the remnants of marine organisms. Their skeletal fragments piled into deep layers over the millennia.
Exactly. And that means oceans. Super big oceans full of life on the surface of the planet for millions of years. Then when the oceans went away, they left behind this limestone.
There would have been millennia of rain, carving caves from the rock.
There's plenty of evidence that an ocean once covered Mars, but an ocean full of life, a thick atmosphere with regular precipitation? That's a whole new vision of ancient Mars.
And yet the life forms we discovered would have evolved more easily in such an environment. This may be the truth.
Here's my big question. Suppose ancient Mars really did support life on the surface. Oceans, atmosphere, life forms evolving over time, all that. Why is it such a bare rock today?
Perhaps the atmosphere disappeared first. The rest would soon topple. The oceans would evaporate into space and be subsumed underground. The surface would become cold and blasted with radiation.
Which is pretty much the Mars we see today. So, what happened to the atmosphere? The only reason Earth has an atmosphere is because of its liquid core. Convection of that molten metal creates the magnetic field. And the magnetic field deflects the sun's solar wind, which would otherwise blast Earth's atmosphere into space. See where I'm going with this?
If Mars once had a molten core of significant size, it might have been able to sustain an atmosphere, until that molten core cooled.
At which point the whole planet would have become barren and dead, slowly, over centuries. I actually can't think of anything else I'm dying to talk to you about right now.
I am sure more topics will arise as we explore further.
We can just make conversation if you want. People do that, you know.